On September 20th, Oklahoma State All-American Rashawn Woods caught a record 7 touchdown passes in one game. The senior has established himself as one of the favorites to hoist the Heisman. Nationally ranked Kansas State has high hopes also. The Wildcats' Big 12 title hopes were dealt a blow with a loss to Texas. And now the Cats come into hostile Stillwater to face an Oklahoma State team that has won 4 in a row. A very big Big 12 conference battle looms next. It's Kansas State against Oklahoma State on Fox Sports Net.
Brought to you by SBC of Big.
Welcome back. Dr. Pepper's presentation of college football Saturday on Fox Sports Net here at Boone-Pickens Stadium, Oklahoma State and Kansas State. Bill Snyder, his 15th year at Kansas State, just turned 64 on Tuesday. Like nothing more than a birthday present with a victory here against Oklahoma State. Last year 11-2, 6-2, second in the North. And on the other side, the Big 12 Coach of the Year from 2002, Les Miles, led his Pokes to an 8-5 record. That was after a 2-4 start. That fourth loss to Kansas State, a thumping up in Manhattan. They then turned it around, and he's hoping that the K-State game will be huge in getting it going toward a conference championship here today. Oklahoma State will receive the kickoff as Kansas State will boot it, and deep for the Cowboys. Morency, number 33, and Robert Jones, 6. Ream with the kick, and it sails out of the end zone. It'll be a 1st and 10 at the 20 on the touchback. Cowboys will come out. Yeah, they think he's a Heisman candidate. Rashawn Woods will be key here today. The OSU offense and our Yamaha starting lineup. You start with the signal caller, Josh Fields. His numbers look impressive, Gary, but they feel he's capable of better. The offensive line, Hardison, the only senior. This young group will be tested against that K-State pass rush. Backs and receivers, Bell, just 2 carries last week, fumbled once, did not get back in the game. And the other Woods had 4 receptions last week, DeWan. 1st and 10, and Bell gets the carry for a couple to the 23-yard line. And the tackle by Ted Sims. OSU goes against a stout defensive group as Kansas State was Shaw, Montgomery, Berry, and Huntley. Huntley 6 sacks. That group has 15 of their 27. Buell, John talked about sideline to sideline. He makes it happen. And in the secondary, Washington with a couple of interceptions. The same for Jordan to tie for the team leadership. Fields to put it up on second to Woods. Complete 1st down, Oklahoma State. Out of bounds at the 34-yard line, and that will move the chains. Rashawn Woods last week, just 2 receptions, only threw it to him about 4 times.
Well, first attempt here to get him the football in this game, and they come up with the reception. And Rashawn Woods, you want to get him in the flow of the game early. I think it's key that he is instrumental in this offense. Quick little turnout on the zone coverage that time for Rashawn, and Josh Fields hit him in stride.
Woods, career leader in the Big 12 in receptions, yards, and touchdowns. 1st and 10 at the 34. Bell, the lone back. Rashawn Woods to the top of your screen. DeWan Woods to the bottom. Fields. Woods. 30. Woods dancing at 25 and inside the 20-yard line. Rashawn Woods battled and won against Darrent Williams and then was tackled by Jesse Tequan.
Well, Rashawn Woods shows you why he is one of the best receivers in the country. He does a great thing about getting separation. You see the height difference between him and Cedric? Goes up for the football, and he makes the grab and turns it into a big play for the Cowboys. I talked about him being key in this football game, and I think he really needs to touch the ball 10 to 12 times. That 8+2 on his number, 82. Let's see him get it 10 times. Defensively for Oklahoma State, I think they need to control the option game for Kansas State, and I think they need to win the punting game. They've got a good returner back there in Darrent Williams or Gabe Lindsey. Either one of those guys can make a big play. But here offensively, Josh Fields is on fire with Rashawn Woods early.
49 yards on the pickup. 1st and 10, and Tatum Bell, hard run down to the 11-yard line. Picks up 6 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 4 for the Cowboys as Oklahoma State coming out strong early.
Well, they want to run the ball, and they want to be demonstrative here, running it inside. You see the blocking, good scheme. Have your second tight end come across and block down on the center. You want to take it to this K-State defense. Oklahoma State wants to build a reputation of being a very physical team. Bill Snyder's teams typically have been very physical. They need to get better in that area. We talked to him about that. They need his defense to step up to the task here against these Cowboys.
Give him 5 on that carry. It is 2nd and 5 officially at the 12-yard line. Bell again. Big hole opens up as he slashes to the left side where Hickman makes the tackle, a senior out of Mesquite, Texas. And Tatum Bell down near first down territory. We'll see where they'll spot.
Well, it all starts up front where you snap the football. Number 56, Ben Bowie, the center here for Oklahoma State. He gets things started up there, Bill, and when he's blocking and calling the signals well, doing things, getting everything organized up there, this offense clicks, and you see Tatum Bell running behind him, getting the benefit of good blocking, and it all starts up front with physical play.
3rd and a short 1 from the 7-yard line. Fields on the keeper would appear to have it down inside the 6. First and goal to go, Oklahoma State. Last year, Oklahoma State was thumped by Kansas State. They've come out with a different attitude here today.
You see Josh Buell trying to go over the top to stop the quarterback on the keeper. Interesting here, Kansas State's defense, Bill, has only allowed 1 rushing touchdown this year. That was a 1-yard plunge a week ago with Vincent Young diving over the top. They've got a lot of pride defensively. They don't want to let these Cowboys run the ball in the end zone.
1st and goal from the 6. Bell goes in motion now. Willis the lone back. They give it to him, and Willis tugs inside to the 4, maybe the 3-yard line. Sean Willis, a sophomore, 6'1", 255, only his 8th carry of the year, but he does have 2 touchdowns. They like him in the red zone.
Well, he's a bruiser, and they're a big back, and you see the defensive swarm there for the Wildcats. Got a linebacker in there, Ted Sims, just a sophomore, getting his first start in this football game. Had a big game against Texas last week, number 45 for Kansas State. Had 15 tackles, and so he earned the nod, and you see him on that tackle.
Oklahoma State's been in the red zone 22 times now this year. They've scored 20 on 17 touchdowns and 3 field goals. Bell, pack up 6. He's in. Cowboys score first. Tatum Bell gets his 8th touchdown of the year.
Well, Bill, when you run power football against a Kansas State tough defense, it's going to set up your play-action passing game. We saw one evidence of that early with a big play to Woods setting up this field position, and now the score for Oklahoma State.
So for the point after, Luke Phillips, he's 24 of 24, making 25 of 25. Bill Snyder's offense got some work to do as the Cowboys score first, 7-0 here in Stillwater. And certainly that fits Oklahoma State's offense this opening series as the Cowboys and Cole Farden get ready to kick it off here. Sproles and Morris are deep. Taken in the end zone by Sproles. And the Cowboys cover it well. The tackle made at the 16-yard line by Oklahoma State. Chase Holland comes up with the stop. 16 yards on the return. Here's the touchdown.
Just power football, Bill. You see him knocking Buell out of the hole. The linebacker trying to fill on Tatum Bell, but excellent job by that offensive front, moving the ball and getting the running game going early.
Our Jiffy Lube scoring drive, 8 plays, 80 yards. The big one, Woods, 2 catches for 59 yards, one of them a 49-yarder to help set it all up. L. Roberson leads the Wildcat offense onto the field, 1st and 10 from the 17-yard line. Sproles gets the ball, spins across the 20 and rolls to near the 22-yard line. Our Yamaha starting lineup here for Kansas State. Sproles a big part of it. Certainly it all starts though with L. Roberson, dual threat, missed a couple of games. OSU wants to make him throw the football. Offensive line led by the all-conference first-teamer Nick Leckie at center, his 32nd consecutive start. Wide out, take a look right in the middle there. James Carey averages 23 yards per catch. Sproles on the carry. Richmond makes the tackle for Oklahoma State. It'll be 3rd down coming up.
Now, Greg Richmond showing that he's the leader up there for Oklahoma State defensively, getting into the backfield for a negative play and getting Sproles. It was very difficult to tackle, Bill. You've got to square him up, and Greg Richmond did a nice job on that play.
Crowd gets into it here. Oklahoma State, 7-0, 3rd and 4th to 22 for the Wildcats. And Sproles bounces off one, and Sproles first down and more, 35, 40, and Sproles out of bounds on the K-State sideline.
They're going to get a penalty, too. A late hit out of bounds on Sproles after he stepped on the white line, and I think they're going to get Darrent Williams on coming up, being a little too aggressive out of bounds, but that's exactly what happened there. Good job by Darren Sproles with the pace on this play. When he runs this off-tackle play, he's just going to wait and watch his block set up. You see him stop and start again, and Darren Sproles can jump to the outside and spin. Got a lot of low center of gravity, so he's able to get down to the field and make a nice runner. You're going to see the penalty as Darrent Williams pops him out of bounds.
Defense, 15 yards from the end of the run, 1st down.
So a 24-yard run by Sproles, give him 15 more on the penalty, 39-yard play, and Bill Snyder, you saw him react as Williams came rolling into him on the late hit. And Oklahoma State now going to have to toughen up defensively. The Wildcats trying to answer on the O. 1st and 10 at the 39. Sproles again. Tackled hard. Well done inside there by Paul Dern, getting the start today. Let's take a look at the Alma defense for Oklahoma State. They've done some shuffling here. Richmond on the defensive end, a couple of sacks against ULala last week, 15 in his career. Dern slides into one spot. McGee moves over with Pinson out for the year. And in the secondary, you notice Vernon Grant at his safety has been in a corner. Ransom takes his spot.
Albert Craig is out, Bill.
Yeah, Albert Craig is out for at least a couple of games with a slight tear in the ACL. Wrapped up hard. Roberson at the 39-yard line.
You first look at the option play there with L. Roberson spinning around. Good job by Dern and company, and Antonio Smith making a play on Roberson. I think the key thing here is Roberson's factor in this football game, running the ball. He and Sproles combined make this a very potent attack. Defensively for the Wildcats, I think they have to keep forcing the issue. Their defensive front is pretty good about getting into the backfield. A lot of sacks and a lot of tackles for loss. And I think they have to be a plus in the turnover margin. A couple of key mistakes a week ago and over the course of the season for Kansas State offensively, turning that football over, and they can't do that today.
3rd and 9 of the 38. Roberson had passed out of the gun. And incomplete. Picked off. Wait a minute. Incomplete. Hit the ground, and Oklahoma State will get it back, it appears.
Yeah, trying to throw it to his big tight end, Brian Casey. He's a big target, 6'7", 270 on the outside, but good closing speed there by Oklahoma State defensively, knocking that ball loose.
Vernon Grant with the hit. They told us he was physical, even though he's not real big, Garrett.
Well, Vernon Grant moves from the cornerback spot now into the nickel spot or the safety, depending upon the defense it's in there. Does a nice job of hitting the big tight end low, and I think is what Vernon Grant needs to do, because Vernon's not a big guy.
Jared
5'9", 180.
Pardon me, Jared Bright for the punt, and the special teams are huge today. We'll get into that as we move along. This one into the end zone, and no return possible. Wow, we're rolling here in Oklahoma State country as the Cowboys lead it 7-0. 5:20 to play, first quarter. Oklahoma State 7, Kansas State nothing. Bill and Gary Reeves and John Radigan with you. Here's the Kansas State offensive chart and how they get their production.
Well,
Gary.
I think this is a Roberson factor. He was out from the McNeese State game, UMass game, and Marshall game. You see the passing that they're doing here in those games. That's with Jeff Schwinn in the game. When they have him in the game, it's a run game. You see all the green lines. That's exactly what this football team wants to do. Run the ball with L. Roberson and Darren Sproles. They want to run the football, and that creates good passing opportunities for them.
Roberson hands it off, and Sproles to the 33-yard line. Looked like got 3 or 4. Greg Richmond, the co-captain, making the stop. Richmond, senior out of Oklahoma City, leads the Cowboys with tackles for loss with 10. You see Roberson checking the helmet, making sure must have the logo locked off. L. Roberson, here's where he ranks at K-State, how important he is to this club. Rushing yards for a quarterback, 2,181. Sproles at the 35-yard line. Darrent coming in today, stopped by Grant. He needs 181 yards rushing to become the Kansas State career rushing leader.
Well, and it all starts up front. If they want to run the football, it's going to start with an offensive line. And that center, Nick Leckie, he leads his football team, number 53, from the center position to Lombardi, Allen, and a Remington Award candidate. And this offensive line from Kansas State, they want to be physical. We take a look at the young man Leckie there.
Terry and Polite split wide left. 3rd and 5 from the 35. Roberson to Terry and complete for the first down. Terry, a big playmaker, knew what he needed here. James is a senior from Homestead, Florida, tackled by Robert Jones.
Well, James Terry is an excellent receiver for Kansas State. Coming into this football game, Bill averaged 23 yards of reception. That's a big number. That time a key first down for Kansas State, moving the chains, getting into close to Oklahoma State territory.
Got 9 on that play. Yeah, that 23 yards per reception is second in the NCAA. His 531 yards overall is 3rd in the Big 12, 12 in the nation. 1st and 10 at the 44 of the Cats. Down 7-0. Roberson changing the play. Wilson and Sproles trying to make sure they've got it. The crowd trying to make sure they don't. Fake to Sproles in the play action. Roberson. Incomplete. OSU was burned in the secondary. Grant, the only man back. It was take your pick with Polite.
Well, this is just a very bad throw by L. Roberson. He has Antoine Polite on the inside route here between the hash marks. All he has to do is throw it to him, and little pressure in his face. Not a lot by Darrent that time, but take a look here as Roberson, he steps into the ball and way overthrows Polite, who's wide open. You see Vernon Grant at the bottom of your screen. He left off coverage. He thought he had free safety help. Obviously wasn't there for him.
Darrent Williams back there. You saw him throwing up the hands like, wait a minute, what happened? 2nd and 10 at the 44. Well, Oklahoma State wants Roberson to throw the football. He only completes it 40%. Sproles back on the ground, spins across the midfield stripe right at the 50 where Grant makes the tackle. Grant, a sophomore out of Duncanville, Texas, returning starter with 26 tackles coming in here today.
What makes it difficult for the defensive backs in a game like this when you have a quarterback that's a dual option quarterback who can throw the football and run the football? They have to stay on those wide receivers, and they don't know if they're running routes, and they've got to get off the blocks. And then you have a Darrent Sproles who gets the ball on a draw play, and he bounces outside, and it's hard for them to get off those blocks to tackle Darrent Sproles.
Kansas State 51 yards or 52 yards of offense, 43 on the ground. Roberson keeps it that way this time. He runs for the first down to the 42-yard line and picks up 7 yards where Paul Dern makes the stop.
And we talked about the option play and how L. Roberson runs that for this football team. When he comes down the line of scrimmage, he's reading all the way here, and there's nobody in his face. He fakes the pitch to Sproles and goes inside of Darrent Grant. Paul Dern has to come from his weak linebacker spot all the way across the field to make the play. Not really contesting the option there. I would think that Bill Clay, the defense coordinator from Oklahoma State, is going to have to put some pressure on L. Roberson to make him pitch that football.
1st and 10 at the 43. Incomplete as Roberson again looking for Antoine Polite, the junior from Indianola, Iowa.
Remember, Bill L. Roberson missed 2.5 games, came out of the McNeese game and didn't play in the 2 after that. Came back last week against Texas, and seeing him trying to get that throwing motion in play again. Come up with a couple of throws here early in this football game that are way off target.
2nd and 10 at the 43 of OSU. 2:29 to go first quarter. Cats' second possession. Sproles. Oh, hit hard as he picked up a couple, and then Ransom sent him backwards.
And Jamar Ransom getting the start at the weak safety spot this week. Comes up and plays a pretty good shot there on Darrent Sproles.
5 yards on the pickup.
Yeah, take a watching number 44 as he comes into the screen, or watch him come up on Sproles and just kind of finish the tackle. It's tackle underneath, but it's a rude welcome into the secondary.
Ransom, sophomore out of El Paso. Got an interception on the year, 15 tackles, more playing time available with the veteran Albert Craig out. Crowd gets after it. 3rd and 5 from the 37.
Blitz.
Roberson got his big tight end to the 25 and a first down inside the 25 as Casey on the reception. And Casey, who came in with 7 grabs for 149 yards, a big one here for a first down before Holland stops him after 13 yards.
Well, it's a defensive blitz. They're coming in here. You're going to see number 17 sit right there. He's got the tight end. You got to go to him right now. John Holland is back there. It's man coverage and it's a missed assignment. So that's why L. Roberson's able to complete that pass.
Well, last year, Oklahoma State fell 44-9 to K-State. Roberson threw for 202 yards and 2 scores and ran for 2 scores. Keeping the football here. Roberson shows you how physical he can be down to the 14-yard line. 6'1", 205 pounds. Thomas Wright makes the tackle.
Well, the Oklahoma State defense is based upon the scheme of run the ball to the sideline. They're not making this quarterback get to the sideline. They need to make him pitch the football to Darren Sproles and string the play out. If L. Roberson has lanes here to run the football like this, he's going to make a lot of yards today.
Last week against Texas, he ran for 87 yards and a pair of scores. He's got the Cats knocking on the door. Baytown, Texas, in the Houston area. 1st and 10. 1:08 to go, first quarter. Pitches to Sproles. And Sproles hit hard at the 10. A flag is thrown at the 10-yard line. Smith and Holland made the stop.
Yeah, but the key thing there is Greg Richmond made the quarterback pitch the ball, and then you tackle Sproles, string it to the sideline, which they did. You have your safety and your off linebacker come in the hole here. Watch the quick hit here by Richmond, number 45. Good low tackle there in Sproles. Then the spillage comes from the inside out, and good speed that time by Smith, coming over and making the tackle.
Penalty apparently against Kansas State. We'll wait for the official. Sproles set up the first drive for K-State on a 24-yard run on a penalty, then it's stalled.
Holding by the offense, 10 yards from the spot of the fall. Repeat the down.
Tom Ehlers and the Big 12 crew as Bill Snyder still on the sidelines. 5 of the last 6 years, his team's won 11 games. 10 straight bowl appearances for Coach Snyder, and just some have forgotten they've been so good so long what an incredible rebuilding job he did at Kansas State. And has stayed to continue that success with 120 wins in now his 15th year. 1st and 20 from the 23. Roberson under pressure, got a man, incomplete. Terry covered well as Williams was on him.
Darrent Williams did a nice job on Terry. Terry's got the size at 6'5". You want to throw the ball out there to him, but good job that time by the cornerback Williams. And that's the play-action passing game that goes with the running game that Kansas State has. You see the eye backfield and the downhill play there, trying to get it to the weak side, the X-receiver, who is James Terry on this play.
Gary, very evident. Roberson, as talented as he is, it's the legs that will kill you, not the arm.
I think you're right, and that's exactly what they want to do. Force him to throw the football.
2nd and 20. Play action. Roberson. How about that arm, Bill Land? Touchdown. Sproles. Wow. He threaded that one nicely as Roberson on the TD pass, his 6th of the year.
Well, they're able to isolate Darren Sproles on the middle linebacker, Paget McGee, and that's kind of a mismatch. McGee, a good athlete, but I don't think he's going to cover Darren Sproles down the middle of the field. You're going to see him here. He's going to take out and watch McGee, number 41 on the side there, take him, and Darren just grabs the ball inside. Paget McGee not able to catch up with it.
With 36 seconds remaining in the first quarter. So Sproles on the receiving end, his first touchdown as a receiver this year. And Sproles last year only caught 9 passes all year. And for the point after, Joe Ream will come on. Joe, 24 of 24 in the PATs. And he is perfect. So we've got a tie ball game with it 7-7 on the TD pass from Roberson to Sproles.
Well, Darren Sproles is the deep tailback. He's going to do the check down here, and you can see the defense drop back in 41. Paget McGee has the middle. He has to take him all the way through the middle of the field. You see the safeties outside. That opens up the entire middle of the defense. Zone defense behind him, and no help in the middle of the field, Bill. Good play action pass, sets it up here, rolls the opposite way. So a little bit of attention not taken to Darrent coming out of the backfield, but I think they're going to have to find him here the rest of this football game.
Boy, it's fun to watch these two go back and forth as they make their adjustments. Two great coaching staffs. These two teams know each other well. Our Jiffy Lube scoring drive, 12 plays, 80 yards as K-State answers against Oklahoma State now. And Sproles, 23 yards on the touchdown catch, also 40 total yards of the 80 on the drive. And both teams now 111 yards of total offense, and the game is even.
Well, you talked about adjustments and these coaches making adjustments here. Before the game, we're looking at some of the coaches' film situations up there. And they've got little recorders that they'll bring down to the sideline at halftime so these coaches can actually watch video plays of this. It's pretty unique, so but they'd have to do something else before halftime gets here, still in the first quarter. Yeah, and when coaches say, well, I'll have to see the film or the tape on Monday. Well, no, you can see it right now. That's how innovative it's become. The kickoff. Jones from the 7. Jones at the 20. 30, cuts it back and hit hard. Helmet goes flying out of bounds near the 38-yard line. Let's go down to the sidelines, and John Radigan with a former OSU standout.
Guys, they are very proud of their football team and its resurgence here, but they are always proud of the wrestling team here. This is the 31st national championship trophy that the wrestling team has won. We are with Chris Pendleton, and Chris, I know you're proud of the fact no other team has won as many national championships in any other sport, have they?
No, it's something to be proud of. We work hard for them.
Why are you guys so good?
Tradition and our coaches, our fans, and they teach us how to win.
I'll tell you what else it has to do with, guys. He was up at 7 this morning practicing wrestling. This is about as close as I'll ever get to a national championship trophy, guys. I may see if he'll let me hold it for a minute.
All right, thanks, John. Yeah, they got so many champions around here. I thought we had going down to Barry Sanders. He's in the building, too, today. And Barry Sanders, of course, the former Heisman Trophy winners. We'll have a chance to catch up with him later on.
Well, John's not going to steal that trophy.
No.
I think that the wrestling
single leg takedown would take care of that.
Well, you see the good field position set up here by the kick return, and Oklahoma State's having a chance to move the football.
All right, and that's the end of an exciting first quarter, 7-7. Dr. Pepper's presentation of Big 12 college football on Fox Sports Net. Woods, Roberson, and crew all getting it done. Oklahoma State and Kansas State in Stillwater, Boone Pickens Stadium, as we get ready to start the second quarter. Rashawn Woods, a big factor today. He's part of our Bank of America higher standards for his 7 touchdown receptions, an NCAA record against SMU and Dallas. Gary, we were fortunate enough to be there. It was absolutely an incredible performance.
He and Josh Fields, they hooked up, and it was a good night for those two. They took what the defense gave them, and that was the passing game, so they exploited it. Rashawn Woods comes up with the NCAA record, as you said, Bill, and just shows you the talent that these two have. When they hook up, it can be an explosive night.
The ability to separate is what so many talk about, one of his many attributes. He lines up here on a 2nd and 8 from the 41 of OSU to start the second quarter. They flip it back to Bell, and Bell is stuffed at the line of scrimmage for virtually no gain.
Good job by Brian Hickman.
Only give up 273 total per game. So Cowboys a very productive first quarter. 3rd and 8 from the 41. Fields, DeJuan Woods couldn't find a handle. Started to go without the football. And Cedric Williams covering on the play.
Return, get a chance to get that football back now with the punt.
There's Barton and the great numbers he's been putting up this year. Taken at the 17-yard line and then hit at the 30. And we'll take a brief timeout after the 42-yard punt and the 13-yard return. We're tied at 7. Each week with all the college football action. Right here, it's Kansas State scoring on its last possession. Gets it 1st and 10 from the 30 after the punt return by Lawson. And flag thrown late here at the 35-yard line. Williams making the tackle on the play.
Probably going to get a holding penalty, Bill, inside. Oh, a face mask, yeah. The umpire behind threw that penalty flag, and Thought he's going to throw it in there to see a hold, but he saw a face mask, I believe.
Good shot of Sproles coming out of that pile. Gives you an indication of how hard he is just to find Gary at 5'7".
Face mask on the defense. 5 yards from the end of the run. We're short of the first down.
Well, when you got offensive and defensive linemen, Bill, that are 6'3" and 6'4", and Darren Sproles, you see the size of him, you can barely find him in the huddle, let alone at the line of scrimmage.
He's big on the stats. 1,465 yards last year, a second-team all-conference pick, and coming in averaging 6 yards a carry. Got his 8th touchdown of the year, his first receiving earlier today. And the Cats are even at 7 with the Cowboys. 13:54 to go in the half, and it's first down and 1 following the penalty. Roberson wants to throw it. Good protection. And intercepted. Williams at the 50. Cuts it back. Williams trying to go wide. 40, 35, the 20. He'll score. Touchdown.
Exactly that. He's got James Terry on the inside route, but sits out in the corner, does a nice job of reacting to the football, and then the huge return here for the touchdown, showing why he's an excellent returner in the punt and return game as well. 2 touchdowns a week ago, Bill, returning a punt, and now a big score on interception here in this football game.
63 yards on the interception return. Williams, as you mentioned last week, doing it in the special teams area. He gets his 3rd interception of the season. He had 3 a year ago, and 63 yards. The point after coming up here for Oklahoma State, and Luke Phillips hit the first, and hits this one as well. Makes it 14-7. And Williams lights this place up with a 63-yard interception return. It's 14-7 Oklahoma State. Well, a record-setting performance by Darrent Williams, his 4th TD interception of his career. That's the best in the Big 12.
Well, you see him down here at the bottom of the screen. He's going to get back to the deep outside. You see the zone coverage. James Terry goes by him. He's just laying in the weeds, as I talked about. Watch him as he goes for the football. Does a nice job jumping up for it, not allowing the receiver to catch the football. Then his punt and return skills take over as he sees the field and makes the big turn all the way across and outruns the entire offense. Excellent job of running the football back, and a big, huge play here for Oklahoma State.
And the Cowboys take the lead. Again, talked about special teams being big. Turnovers are certainly pivotal. That hurt Kansas State last week in their loss to Texas. And Darrent Williams, his 63-yard return. He had been tied with Bobby Walker, Donald Strickland, Michael Jamison, and Joe Walker, all with 3 interceptions for touchdown returns on the Big 12 charts. Now he owns that mark, and the kick in the end zone taken there for the touchback. 1st and 10 at the 20 for Kansas State. How these guys are go-to guys. Terry receiving 36% of his team's receptions, and look at Woods at 41%.
Yeah, trying to get James Terry the ball on the bubble screen on that play to make that first down, but good job by Victor DeGreat, the freshman linebacker.
4th and 3 from the 27. On the punt return, a flag is thrown as Williams was leveled by Kansas State. Cedric Williams. Williams versus Williams, and Darrent Williams. Boy, hope he's all right.
Well, Cedric Williams, this was nothing, I don't think, intentional from him. He's running down the field, and there's actually an Oklahoma State blocker in front of him. He may not see the returner on this, and then the Oklahoma State player moves by, and Darrent Williams steps up, but it's going to be an interference penalty against the kicking team nonetheless.
We'll let you hear the hit. Thank goodness. Darrent Williams all right.
Well, that was Vernon Grant trying to block Cedric Williams, and he's a little behind him. I think he's actually trying to run by him, Bill.
Yeah, and it looked like he actually got him more on the shoulder, glanced the helmet, but he certainly didn't get a direct hit to the head.
Yeah, that was
Darrent Williams may not be up coming off.
Kind of looked like that play last night in the baseball game.
So, K-State gets an interception. They don't return it for a touchdown like Darrent Williams did, but just the same, they go from a poor field position to get a nice stop on the turnover, and they come out throwing to Brian Casey again. Casey takes it across the 30 to the 32-yard line, and that will move the chains. About a 12-yard pickup as Paul Duran makes the tackle.
Well,
Give him 11, first and 10 at the 31. Keep it on the ground this time. Travis Wilson gets the carry. Wilson coming in with just 4 carries, 11 yards, primarily a blocker, occasionally receiver coming out of the backfield.
You know, we talked to the coaches about Casey and the chance for that tight end to make some plays in this football game. And they agreed. They said, you know, with the changes that Oklahoma State has on defense, there may be some opportunity there for us. And if you catch it on a zone coverage, which they did on that previous play, it could be a situation where they can make some plays offensively. And, you know, you get L. Roberson settled down throwing the football. When he has to throw it, he just make good, crisp passes. Hasn't thrown the ball well today at all.
2nd and 8 from the 34. Roberson play action. Pocket collapses, and he is brought down at the 35-yard line as Kareem Smith was there to make the play.
Good job of continuing to the quarterback. Kareem Smith, one of the defensive ends for Oklahoma State. You're going to watch him on the right side of your screen, going to get off the block, and then see the pocket break down. L. Roberson thinks he has to run the football, and Kareem does a nice job of getting the sack.
Well, Gary, one of the things that's been a benefit for Oklahoma State in their schedule, that they've been able to play a lot of guys. So when you lose a Pinson and you lose an Elbert Craig, you've got some guys who've got some experience that are able to make plays today. 3rd and 6. And it is complete for the first down to Polite, and nicely done. Making the tackle on the play is Fada Carter.
Well, it was a zone coverage defensively, and they flooded the zone, Bill. They had 3 receivers in the area, 1 on the boundary and 1 inside the cornerback, and it's going to be a penalty that's going to negate that play. Polite not happy about that. Had the first down and a good play here for Kansas State, but the yellow flag has something to do with it.
Holding by the offense, 10 yards from the previous spot, still 3rd down.
See Kareem Smith taking the inside move here and takedown. Saw him block Greg Richmond last time out there on that play. That's Jeremy Clary, the big offensive tackle, the sophomore.
You're going to see some penalties. Both these teams, nothing against their backup quarterbacks, but Fields must be healthy for OSU to have great success. We saw what happens to K-State when Roberson's not around. So if you got a hold occasionally, don't let him get hit. 3rd and 16 at the 25. Sproles on the screen. Sproles zips by 1 man to the 40. Did he get the first down? It appears it's very close at the 41-yard line as he just slipped.
No, Bill, I was about to say 3rd and 15 is a bad situation for Kansas State. They're not going to measure this, Bill. It's going to bring up a 4th down at a foot. It looks like Kansas State may be going for it.
Cats will. They're 3 of 9 in 4th down situations this year. This one will move the chains.
Yeah, confusion defensively for the Cowboys defensively. Little movement there before the snap, and then the quick little nudge by Roberson taking it on the quarterback sneak, gets the first down.
Well, you kind of see there Bill Snyder, known for his attention to detail. They knew they were going for it. They didn't fool around.
Yeah, you see the movement on the defensive side. They're just not lined up correctly, and Roberson takes advantage.
1st and 10, ball on the 43-yard line now for Kansas State, trailing 14-7. Sproles had a touchdown reception earlier. They're finding him in the passing game today. Hands it off to Sproles. Darren just toughs it out for what he can get to the 47-yard line. And there to stop him is Freddie Sinclair, a senior out of Raytown, Missouri.
For Oklahoma State, and I think it's a pretty good comparison to their running styles.
5'7", 170. Back there now on a 2nd and 7. Stays in to protect, and it's incomplete, intended for Terry. Communication and signals. Well, you'll have trouble communicating here. 3rd and 7 at the 46. Roberson to keep. To the 50, first down and more as he drags one with him across to the 40, down to the 39-yard line, and Victor DeGreat makes the tackle for Oklahoma State.
Well, when you have
in here today with 5:91, picks up a first down on the last one. Roberson keeps again on a 1st and 10, and our doctor their own last one. 2nd and 8. Roberson brought down, a loss on the play at the 40-yard line. Cream Smith, nice job to contain. What's coming up on our Sonic halftime report, we'll stay tuned for that as they'll be updating on a number of things in college football. Right now it's 3rd and 11, the ball of the 40-yard line. Roberson to Terry. He caught it! Touchdown Wildcats! Wow, what a play! Robert Jones was the man trying to get the pick off and just knock it down. Terry stayed with it.
Well, Roberson makes a heck of a throw here under duress. He gets knocked down after the throw, and watch the concentration by Terry. Good job. The ball is juggling. Robert Jones goes with one hand and not two. If he would have gone up with two, he probably could have caught the football, elected to try to knock it out, but Terry came up with a big catch.
40 yards on the pass play. Well, we told you, Terry at 23.1 per reception. Big playmaker. And the kick is up and good by Kansas State. And it ties it at 14 on the sensational play. Roberson to Terry for the touchdown. Wildcat fans right alongside the Cowboy fans. 14 apiece. Jared Bright will kick it off for Kansas State. Morency waits at the 5. Slips by one. That got him out across the 20 to the 22-yard line. Vernon Morency, 17 yards on the return. How about Terry in the 40-yard pass reception for the score?
Well, James Terry's going to come down and make a double move here. He goes inside, back outside, then goes back to the middle again, gets a step on Robert Jones, who is underneath, and tries to knock the ball away with his left hand. Doesn't do it well enough, and Terry does a good job of concentration. And the big score here for Kansas State.
Terry's 3rd touchdown of the year. He had a 52-yarder against Cal earlier. This one 40. And we're even again. Cowboys, 1st and 10 from the OSU 20. Look at the 22, beg your pardon. Fields to throw it. DeJuan Woods, incomplete.
Yeah, Josh Fields up the line of scrimmage, audible in here, and trying to get the offense in the right play. They do a lot of that here at Oklahoma State. They allow the quarterback to put him in the right play. They see something up there, little audible situation. Josh Fields has got a pretty good grasp of this offense, Bill. I think that kind of took hold a year ago when they won a couple of key games here against Nebraska, Texas A&M. They kind of got on a roll last year, and I think that Josh Fields has kind of come into his own a little bit as we take a look at the scoring drive.
Jiffy Lube scoring drive, 10 plays, 80 yards. Kansas State then got half of it on one play. Get into the end zone. 2nd and 10. Tatum Bell. And Bell scampers out of bounds about the 27-yard line.
And that's the same play we saw earlier in this football game when Tatum Bell got a first down for the Cowboys.
Bell coming in averaging 100 yards a contest on the ground, and number one knowing he and the running game, they have to run the football if they're going to open things up. He's carried 10 times for 48 yards so far today.
Yeah, the question mark about Tatum Bell a year ago, which is different than he is this year, is could he last an entire football game being the go-to guy at the tailback spot? He has shown that he can do that, getting pretty good workload here early in this football game.
DeJuan Woods in motion to reset, 3rd and 5. Fields. Incomplete. Saw McGill, also Williams out there making a sandwich of Rashawn Woods.
Well, you see Josh Fields' mentality. He wants to get out of the pocket and throw it to his receivers. He really had a chance to run this football for the first down, but he chose to throw it down, and a bad throw to Rashawn Woods. Credit the defense there. Pretty good coverage downfield for the Wildcats.
So Kansas State holds Oklahoma State. Momentum shifting here. Things very quiet at Boone Pickens Stadium. 4th down and 5 from the 27, and Barton will punt it away. Sproles across the 40, 45, 50. Sproles He makes a nice cut back and then hammered, but a great return by Darren Sproles to the Oklahoma State 36-yard line. McLemore made the tackle. Earlier today, John Radigan, our sideline man, had a chance to visit with the great Barry Sanders on his return.
College Football Hall of Fame. Today's a special day for Barry Sanders, too, because he'll be honored here at Oklahoma State, his alma mater. How much does it mean to you to come back to Stillwater and celebrate some of this, Barry?
It's great to be here. I have a lot of terrific memories of being here. And, you know, I think about this place all the time. And it's always wonderful to be able to come back.
The atmosphere when the team is doing as well as it has thus far is charged. It's great. It must remind you of the days when you had things going here.
Oh, yeah, it's been a reemergence of the program, and everybody's excited. You know, all the former players and fans are just sitting on the edge of our seat, you know, waiting to see what this team is going to do. I think they have a lot of promise.
And the College Football Hall of Fame, what does that mean to you?
I mean, it's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. You know, I was fortunate to play for a great coach and with some great players. And, you know, it's hard to believe that I was able to, you know, put up stats that, you know, no one really have been able to do before. And so, you know, I'm fortunate, I'm blessed, and I'm very thankful.
Barry, congratulations. We appreciate you taking time with us. That is Barry Sanders, one of the great names in the history of Oklahoma State. Guys, back up to you.
On a 2nd and 10 from the 39, Polite the reception from Roberson, and it'll be 1st and goal for Oklahoma, for Kansas State. We'll see the flag was thrown, though. Wait a minute. And
He may have
come back.
May have been across the line of scrimmage when he threw the football, but this is a two-man route. Polite does a good job of continuing across the field, and would have been a big play. You're going to see Roberson here going to come down line of scrimmage, fake option play, and then he continues to roll. He's got two guys coming down the field, Polite and Terry on the left side, and they just work across the field.
Hear all that? He was past the line of scrimmage when the ball was thrown, so the loss of down as well on the play. And wow, what a big turnaround for Kansas State in a negative sense, Gary, with just 2:50 to go before the half. Now it's 3rd and 15 at the 43. Now you might say, well, you didn't go across the line, you may not have completed that pass. They're going to have 1st and goal at the 3.
That's exactly right. Huge penalty now on that play.
They are not in field goal range yet. Big 3rd down. Roberson, they contain him and finally bring him down. Richmond leading the way at the 46-yard line.
Cowboys do a good job in the defense, Bill, in the secondary of taking away. There's 3 receivers to the left side of the field for Roberson, and he says, hey, I got nobody open. I got to step up in this pocket. Then the defensive pressure, Greg Richmond doing a good job of stepping up. Watch here as he comes from the right side of the screen. Richmond does, number 45, and just kind of sandwiches everything there and takes Roberson to the ground, and McGee helps.
And the punt. Bright. Sky high. And then takes an OSU bounce as it goes out of bounds. Here's what's coming up on our Sonic halftime report. Bill Jones, R.C. Slocum, and Greg Hill will be standing by to get the review from Coach Slocum on this first half that has us deadlocked at 14. Also, a good look ahead to the SBC Red River Shootout down in Dallas with Oklahoma, ranked number 1 in Texas, and Arkansas and Auburn highlights and more, all on the Sonic halftime report with Bill Jones, R.C. Slocum, and Greg Hill. Just a 21-yard punt. Of course, you want to get it inside the 20, but also the way Darrent Williams has been going, you don't want to give him a return opportunity. OSU has 150 to work with, and they've got 75 yards to go. 1st and 10 on the 25. And the pitch. Bell. Brought down at the 27, 28-yard line. Rashad Washington, strong safety, coming up to make the play for the Wildcats.
Well, I know Mike Gundy, the offensive coordinator for Oklahoma State, is thinking right here in this situation, we'll run the football, but we're not going to do anything foolish where we shoot ourselves in the foot and give Kansas State a good opportunity and good field position. hey, if we don't get a first down, that's okay. We'll punt the ball and put our defense out there. You don't want to be careless with the football here. No turnover situation. Don't throw the ball unnecessarily in the cover.
Fields is 3 of 7 for 63 yards today. First half winding down. Hands it off to Bell. And Bell goes out of bounds. Near the first, well, he stepped out before the first down marker. Thought he was going to be a little closer to it. On the 33-yard line. Picks up 5 on the play. Jordan there to take care of business for the Wildcats.
Probably would have liked to stay inbounds and just try to let the clock run out. I think that Oklahoma State is content with not trying to make a big play here. But if they get this first down, that mentality may change. They'll have decent field position, 3rd and 2.
Sean Woods wide right. Johnson, the man in motion, sets up tight end left. Now Rashawn Woods comes back. Tatum Bell carries it up the middle, gets the first down to the 41-yard line. Washington makes the tackle, picks up 8. Well, is this going to be one of those vintage Mike Gundy, the offensive coordinator, pound it and then throw deep?
Take a look at this fullback block here by Bull. The Bull here going in there on Buell. That's a good job of knocking him back. That's exactly what you want to do, and that's football. Bingo. Get you a first down.
49 seconds and counting.
Sean Willis with a big block, the fullback. Huge play.
Cowboys have all 3 of their timeouts remaining. Fields wants to throw it. Here it does. Complete to the 35-yard line. Rashawn Woods is tackled by Williams.
Yeah, and the clock stops on the first down. Oklahoma State is in the driver's seat. Hey, things change. You know, their situation on the field position change. Hey, take a shot. You go to your go-to guy, Rashawn Woods. Can't go wrong there. And get a shot, and they do. They get a first down and key field position here inside the 40-yard line, Bill.
25 yards on the pickup. Timeout Oklahoma State. They have 2 remaining. Well, taking what the D gives you.
Yeah, that's exactly right. If the defense is going to allow you to have Rashawn Woods come through, and he's going to come right down here on the defense and work up the field. Rashawn Woods working inside on Cedric Williams, and the ball's thrown up and high where he wants to catch the football. And Josh Fields and he have done that a number of times before. And no stranger to making big plays is Rashawn Woods. As you see the numbers that he's put up over his career, it's just been tremendous here for him at Oklahoma State. Big 12 leader in receiving yards, receptions, touchdown catches. And we talked earlier about the 7 touchdowns in the one game against SMU. And having a pretty good football afternoon here today.
3 catches, 84 yards. He had a 49-yarder earlier that set up their first score of the day. Picks up 25 on that one today. And had 77 yards in the whole game last year against Kansas State. As K-State back, the Wildcats have won the last 9 in this series. And have not lost to Oklahoma State in Big 12 play. It's back to Bill Snyder's first year at Kansas State since his ball club's lost to Oklahoma State. Now, of course, in the rotation north and south, you don't play every year.
Right.
They've won the last 9 times they've met.
Well, I think this is a different mentality overall here. Oklahoma State, their fans, their football team, their program. Les Miles has done something really special here at Oklahoma State with this football team. And they've got this program turned around. And I think it started very much so, as I mentioned earlier, a year ago with a couple of key wins here. And that attitude has picked up again. They thought they'd come into this situation well poised to contend for this Big 12 South Championship.
First and 10 at the 34. The Woods brothers wide left. The pitch to Tatum Bell. And Bell cuts it back to the 25-yard line. Got a first down, or should. Let's see where they spot it. Clock's still moving.
They need to call a timeout.
Oh, yeah, they do.
Let 3 or 4 ticks go off the clock before they got that. If it had been the first down, the official would have signaled to stop the clock, but he didn't. It was a yard short or so.
You know, interesting that they come to Woods, and he has kind of made it a mission, Gary, that he's going to be a better blocker. That's something that to certainly expect from him when he goes to the NFL.
Cedric Williams a little undersized there against Rashawn Woods, but that's what you have to do as a receiver sometimes. You're asked to block. You need to make key blocks. That's what turns running back plays into big, long runs, is your downfield blocking by your wide receivers, and then your second level getting there by your offensive linemen. So good job by Rashawn and company on the outside blocking for Tatum Bell.
Great baseball action coming up on Fox in the AL and NLCS championship play. Here's our situation. 26 seconds to go in the second quarter. Oklahoma State just used their second timeout, so they should have one remaining, and it'll be a 2nd down and 1 at the 25. Again, remind you what's coming up on the Sonic halftime report. We'll head back to the studio with Bill Jones, R.C. Slocum, and Greg Hill, and get the first half review from Coach Slocum. The SBC Red River Shootout breakdown, Texas and Oklahoma. What a dandy that ought to be at the Cotton Bowl. And Arkansas-Auburn highlights and more on the Sonic halftime report. Of course, some huge games in the Big 12 today. Oklahoma, Texas among them. This is certainly critical for these two teams. Missouri and Nebraska playing in Columbia. Nebraska trying to remain unbeaten in that one, as well as Kansas and Colorado going at it.
Well, I like the fade route because even if they know that it's coming, you know, it's all about technique and ability to go and get the ball.
Well, let's see what they go with here if they go to Woods. 2nd and 1 at the 25. Fields. Benjamin. Touchdown!
When you're the go-to guy in a football team, everyone thinks you're going to throw the ball to him. Rashawn Woods, number 82, you're going to see him come across, and then Badgman just works out to the flag. They cross, and open area there, no one there. Good job by Josh Fields finding the open receiver, and Badgman pulling it in. That's a nice play design here by Oklahoma State and Mike Gundy, the offense coordinator.
So the point after coming up for Phillips as the Cowboys back on top, 20-14, and Phillips booms it through, 21-14 with 20 seconds remaining, and the Cowboys up by 7. Badgema last year caught 16 passes. That's just his 3rd reception of this year, Gary.
Well, that's Badgema's route, but Rashawn Woods, everyone's going to account for him. Watch the defense go to him, and Rashawn Woods contend on him, and then the linebackers underneath. Everyone's thinking Rashawn's getting the ball. Billy Badgema with the touchdown.
Billy Badgema would tell you, yeah, I got some hands. Throw it to me. Well, that is part of the thing that people talked about leading up to this game, that Oklahoma State, Gary, other than the Nebraska game, has not been tested. They also haven't had to show their whole playbook. And you can hold some things back, and lo and behold, we see Badgema become a big playmaker here today.
Well, we saw Badgema a year ago come on the scene, make some key plays in some situations, in some games, and made a big, huge play here at this football game, getting the lead late in the 2nd quarter. As we take a look at the Jiffy Lube Buick OSU scoring drive, 6 plays, 75 yards. Hey, I'm talking the whole time that they're going to sit on the ball and run the clock out, but they get the key first down, then the big play to Rashawn Woods, and then they're set up for a scoring attempt, which they capitalize with a nice toss to Badgema.
Badgema gets his first TD of the year. Oklahoma State 21-14, and it'll be Farden to kick it off again. Morris, Sproles, and Maurice Mack are deep for Kansas State. And he booms it. Mack is told, take a knee. He does. So K-State. For college football Saturday, Fox Sports Net bringing you Kansas State and Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State 21-14. Bill and Gary Reasons, John Radigan here with you in Stillwater at Boone Pickens Stadium. Cowboys will kick it off to start the 2nd half. Farden and deep. Maurice Mack, Sproles, and Morris. None of them will catch that one as it goes flying out of the end zone.
Wildcats will take over first down and 10 from the 20.
Our Nissan halftime stats. Pretty even ball game. The numbers are pretty even except for time of possession.
Well, the total yards obviously is very similar. I'll tell you, the 2 turnovers there, one of them for Kansas State and one for Oklahoma State. The difference there, one of them resulted in a touchdown for Oklahoma State. The other is more like just a punt on the interception for Kansas State. The only difference in this football game, but I think the momentum going in at halftime was started with Oklahoma State. Let's see if they can keep it going here as they come out in the 3rd quarter, Bill.
All right, Kansas State. 1st and 10 from its own 20-yard line. L. Roberson hands off to Sproles, and Sproles gets a couple out to the 23. Sproles had 153.
Trying to get on track throwing the ball. Hasn't been a real crisp day throwing the football, but He's been moving this offense pretty well.
Sproles 60 yards rushing, needs 121 to become the all-time rusher in K-State history. Roberson on the keeper, out of bounds across the 30. He did get the first down as Jones made the play defensively. They expect him to be sharper today than he was a week ago and build some momentum as they go through the rest of the Big 12. 1st and 10 from the 31. And Roberson, helmet's flying down there. He is stopped at the 30. Maybe a loss in the play as Richmond makes the tackle.
Design quarterback draw. Greg Richmond does a nice.
Actually, 113 for 2 scores, but it all happens because of his legwork. And Gary, had he been accurate, he might have a couple more. He's had some opportunities to throw the ball today. He does here and is accurate across the middle, working on the tight end, Casey. He catches it out near the 38-yard line. First series of the second half. Oklahoma State leading by 7. Roberson, good protection. Intercepted. Jones at the 25-yard line, intended for Terry.
Well, just a very poor throw by L. Roberson. He has Terry on the outside. He needs to put some air under this ball and put it out there deep. Robert Jones has coverage on him. See him down here at the bottom of the screen. Both these guys are going to run back. Look at Roberson. Nobody in his face right there, and he throws the ball. He's got Terry deep. With the ball underthrown, Robert Jones makes an easy interception. He's just reading the quarterback and the flight of the ball. He probably could have caught up to Terry if he wanted to. Nice play that time, Oklahoma State, and get the ball back. In reality, Bill, that's more like a punt on a situation like that. It's 3rd and long, throw it up there, and not critical on field position, but still a good play in the secondary.
Jones gets his 3rd interception of the year, had one last week against Louisiana-Lafayette. Cowboys 1st and 10 from their own 26. And Bell, about the 29-yard line on the stop. Josh Buell makes the tackle. The Oklahoma State leaders here at the half. You see Fields in the air. I said the one pick. Well, Bell, nice job today.
Yeah, just kind of ran through the seams there. Tatum Bell, you really, those to me, the kind of transparent yards, but the touchdown, the big average, and then Rashawn Woods talked about getting him into the action early. Only gave him the ball, thrown his way around 10 times in his football game, half of that in the first half.
Yeah, they made 5 attempts there, so that's on track. 2nd down and 7 at the 29. Rashawn Woods wide left, Rashawn to the right. Fields. To DeJuan Woods, and incomplete. Cowboy fans wanting the flag, not one thrown. He was redshirted last year after being injured after just a couple of games, so a redshirt freshman is his eligibility status. Here is Fields to throw it, and complete. Lindsey has the first down at the 47-yard line. Rashad Washington makes the tackle. Gabe Lindsey, a senior from Denver, Colorado. He's become a real dangerous player.
Well, watch your linebackers here. They're going to fall down. That's going to be Brian Hickman, number 18. You see him there on the ground. Doesn't get back in the zone where he would try to be underneath the throw to Gabe Lindsey. It's a nice throw.
13th reception of the season. He had a TD on a punt return against Wyoming here in the home opener this year. 1st and 10 at the 47. And they smother Bell on the play as Tatum Bell stopped by Andrew Shull, the senior from Webb City, Missouri, a 2nd-team all-conference pick a year.
Style defense, and they need to get back in that backfield and make some more plays like that.
2nd and 13 at the 44 of Oklahoma State. Fields to throw it. DeJuan Woods, double covered. Third and 13 from the 44. Fields again, looking to air it out. In trouble, and he is brought down back on his own 29-yard line. Houchin with the sack.
Move by Houchin.
Well, they sacked him 3 times last year, Gary.
A pretty good job this season. See the sack leaders for Kansas State.
Sproles in the punt return and the fair catch at the 15, make it 16-yard line. So Barden, a nice job kicking on that one, a 50-yarder, and Sproles in the offense will set for K-State. It's 21-14. Gary Reeves and John Raddick and the crew today here on Fox Sports Net. Dr. Pepper College Football Saturday. K-State Second possession, second half. 21-14 trailing Oklahoma State. Roberson out of the gun. 1st and 10 from the 16 for the Wildcats. The keeper, Roberson, stopped around the 20-yard line. Effie Moweran makes the tackle there. Let's take a look at the possession charts and what happened in the first half for K-State.
Well, the punt, the first series, and obviously the touchdown on the 12-play, 80-yard drive, and a couple of short series, punt the football, and then another score. So a little bit of here and there for Kansas State, nothing really consistent, but given opportunity, they can move the football. They just got to execute running the ball with Sproles and Roberson. And Roberson needs to make better throws in this football game. Hasn't been very sharp, Bill.
Well, these two teams come in averaging. K-State 36 points a game, Oklahoma State 41. We had a 21-14 first half. Even though the defense has made some plays, the offenses have been running the show. And speaking of which, Roberson across the 35 and to the 36-yard line. L. Roberson, the senior from Baytown, Texas, stopped by Darrent Williams.
Well, you see one of the adjustments that they make at halftime for Bill Snyder, his offensive football team. You're going to spread the defense out, get your wide receivers out, and then you're going to run the down-the-line option with the quarterback. He's just reading things here and says, hey, it's a little guard pull action. I just get in behind him and find me a crease and make a play. And Roberson, like you said earlier, Bill, will not win this game with his feet if that's the way Kansas State's going to win this football game.
Got 16 yards on that tote. 1st and 10 from the 36 of the Wildcats. Gives them a little bit more breathing room. Roberson again tucks it under and goes to the 40-yard line. And Victor DeGreat makes the tackle.
Yeah, Victor DeGreat starting at the linebacker spot this second half for Oklahoma State, coming in making a play.
Roberson and the Wildcats have a 2nd and 6 from their own 40-yard line. Wilson the lone back. Roberson fakes to him, dumps to the tight end Casey. Casey strolls into OSU territory, gets to the 42-yard line as Bernard Grant makes the tackle on the play. 18 yards on the pickup. He had 7 catches for the year coming in. 1st and 10 at the 42. Sproles, OSU there to greet him right at the 40-yard line. He picked up a pair. Next, 2nd and 7 at the 40. Roberson eludes a tackler, and Roberson shows his force, gets to the 34-yard line, where Paget McGee makes the tackle.
Got to go out there, move the football. They're doing it on the ground and be physical, as you said.
Roberson hands it off to Sproles, and Sproles on the 3rd and short has the first down to the 31-yard line. Vernon Grant, sophomore, makes the tackle.
That's a good tackle by Vernon Grant. He's out there in space on a shifty back, and Darren Sproles.
Roberson slips and falls, looking to throw, and a loss back to the 41-yard line.
Yeah, this is not a grass field.
To here. You know, he has had success in the air today, and Roberson got all day. Got a man open. Terry with a catch inside the 10. Did he break the play? No. Out of bounds at the 4-yard line. Nice catch by Terry, and again, Roberson looking good both ways. Terry, his 4th grab of the day for 88 yards, and on a 1st down and goal to go. Wildcats score. Touchdown, KSU. 39 carries, 130 yards overall. Just his 6th carry of the season. A big one for a 6-pointer, and the point after is good for the Kansas State Wildcats. We're tied again at 21. Stay with us on Fox Sports Net. K-State, Oklahoma State deadlocked at 21. Someone talking about an SBC Red River shootout going on down in Dallas State. Pretty good shootout north of the Red River here in Stillwater. Bill Land, Gary Rees, and John Radigan with you as this one starts all over with 5:33 to go in the 3rd, and Bright to boot it. Morency and Jones, the deep men. Willowson Burrow is set at the 20 to receive for Oklahoma State. Saba getting his 1st score of the year for the Wildcats. The point after by Joe Ream, and we are even at 21. And Bright. Short kick. Jones from the 10. Stripped 1. 30. Jones 40. And Jones tugging away before knocked out of bounds. They'll spot it at the 45 of Oklahoma State, it appears. Let's go down to John Radigan. Purple pushed apart with the sea of orange in the end zone. Cowboys keep it on the ground on the 1st down carry. Morency. And the Cowboys, let's take a look at their first half drive chart, Gary.
Seemed like they started out very well early in this football game with the 8-play, 80-yard touchdown drive, and kind of got things didn't happen too well early on, the remainder of that, till the end of the second quarter, and then they got the 6-play, 75-yard touchdown drive, knotted up at halftime. So a couple of teams here just finding a way to get going and taking what the defense gives them. That's Oklahoma State offensive philosophy, and coming out here trying to run this ball early here in the third quarter.
After that big drive by K-State, let's see if OSU can answer. 2nd and 8 from its 47, and Fields to throw. Here they come after him. Got Rashawn Woods, and Woods first down at the 38-yard line, 33-yard line, I should say, of Kansas State. He beat Williams on the play.
Yeah, Cedric Williams outside, going to have him man-to-man. And watch the move here. Move to the outside, then back inside. Quickness, elusiveness, stop and start. Doesn't give any clues to the defender as to when to stop, and he's going to make that break. That's a quality receiver. Those are tools that you just don't teach a young man, and he has those very naturally.
First grab, second half, 4 on the day, 99 yards, averages 107 plus, second in the Big 12 as far as per game average. And OSU, more importantly, 1st and 10 of the 39 of the Wildcats. Play action for Fields. He lets it go. Woods, and incomplete. Double covered as Tetchwan and Jordan down there trying to blanket Rashawn Woods.
Yeah, trying to get everybody to bite on the play action inside, but a couple of guys trying to handle him as he comes down the field.
Let's take a look at our Cowboys game plan and update it for you.
Well, just threw to him another time. So that's 7 times that they've thrown to Rashawn Woods, and need to get him in this football game defensively. When they've run the option, I think that Oklahoma State has played spotty on that. L. Roberson's been able to make the plays, and the return yardage game and the punting, a little favor to OSU. Not a big difference in this football game, though.
Of course, the big play was the interception return for a touchdown by Williams, Darrent Williams. Bell carries on the 2nd and 10 and gets to near the 30-yard line, inside the 31, where he is stopped by Washington and Buell. Fields today is 7 of 14 for 149 with 1 TD and 1 INT. Fields coming in with 11 touchdowns to 6 interceptions.
Yeah, not surprising when you get good field position. You go on first down and you try to get a big play to your go-to guy. Run out there to Rashawn Woods, who's made play after play for this football team. Had to run it on 2nd to set up a 3rd and at least manageable situation with 3rd and 7.
Rashawn right, Dewan left. Fields to throw it on 3rd and deflected. I think Buell got a hand on it coming across the middle trying to get it to Woods.
He did. The zone coverage underneath. Josh Buell is trying to get out to the outside curls look there, and you're going to see right at you here. Josh Fields is going to throw it. It's going to come right over number 7. He's going to tip his hand, and good camera work here looking at this as Dewan Woods is right there, but the ball is tipped underneath and doesn't have a chance to make that grab.
Field goal attempt coming up. Luke Phillips, who on the year is 3 of 4. He's had 1 blocked. His best has been from 32 yards, and this one will set up for a 47-yard attempt, and they fake it. Here comes Phillips. 30, 25, 20, first down, Cowboys. Washington knocked him out of bounds. How about that for a little razzle-dazzle?
Nifty ball handling here, and this is a Les Miles call play. The head coach says, hey, go ahead and run the fake. It's there. You got your holder there who flips it up over his shoulder, and you see the defense trying to make the block there. Good job that time of coming around the corner, getting out of bounds. Look at the pressure inside. It's all committed there, and then they run off and got one downfield trying to get a receiver, but no. He's going to run it all the way because it's an easy first down.
That gets this crowd back in the game. The OSU drive had stalled. Phillips getting high fives from everyone. 11-yard pickup. And the senior out of Tulsa, Oklahoma from Metro Christian High School. Huge play. 1st and 10 at the 20 for Oklahoma State. Game tied at 21. Willis, the back in motion, resetting to the left of Fields. Bell picks his way. Inside the 10-yard line. He fumbled the football, but it was down. Bell, stopped by Washington.
Good quick footwork at the point of attack there, Bill. Tatum Bell, he's coming out of the football game after that ball bounced on the ground. He jumps to the left and does a good job of getting into the hole, and he hits the ground. The ball pops out underneath him, and I'm sure they're going to know that this is not a fumble.
Yeah, and we talked earlier that they've been very strict about, hey, we will not tolerate fumbles. Now, If it is something quirky, it's different. But it's just a matter of not hanging on to the football. You'll come out of the game. But that was not a fumble. First and goal from the 7. Morency, and he gets the carry. And Morency straight ahead, trying to keep it moving. But K-State swarms to the play. His momentum stopped around the 4-yard line.
And Morency might be more of a power runner than Tatum Bell. A little heavier, 210-pounder. And can pound it up in there. When we talk with Les Miles about Morency, he says, hey, I like him in this football game because he gives us that physical presence back there.
Morency had 269 yards rushing last year in 3 scores, but missed 5 games with an ankle injury. He came in here today with the big night against the University of Louisiana-Lafayette last week. 189 yards rushing and 2 TDs in that ball game. Career night. Second and goal from the 4. Bell back in. Fake to him. Fields. Lindsey, touchdown, Oklahoma State. Lindsey, his first TD receiving. And the fake field goal set it all up. Oklahoma State 27-21. Now Phillips kicks it for real, and it's 28-21. What a ball game at Boone Pickens Stadium.
Well, a little misdirection here. It's going to be the boot pass. You see that Josh Field's going to come out here. Watch Gabe Lindsey work across the field right over Josh Buell, who almost has it. But Lindsey right behind him for the score. Good job of execution. Oklahoma State, after the fake field goal, as you said, Bill, and got this crowd back into this football game.
It has been back and forth all day long. We've not had back-to-back scores from one team yet this afternoon. Oklahoma State getting on the board first, and then K-State has answered each time, and the Cowboys have come right back to claim the lead as K-State has yet to lead in the game. Jiffy Lube scoring drive for Oklahoma State, 9 plays, 55 yards. Lindsey the TD, but the 11-yard run on the fake field goal, Phillips set it all up. Wow, this is one of those games you're just wondering what's going to happen next. It's going to knock your socks off.
Punch, counter punch, as you talked about, Bill. Each team is responding. Let's see if Kansas State will respond once again.
So the kickoff. Barton. Sproles caught it as he was going out of the end of the end zone, and there the kicking game is paid. Possession, the Wildcats look totally in control. Then OSU answers.
I think they need to get to that guy, number 5, James Terry. He's made some big plays in this game, but Darrent Sproles on the ground is a good answer as well.
Roberson on 2nd and 4 to keep the football. Trying to stretch it. Marquis Fountain out there to bring up the big play. Freshman out of Midwest City, Texas. Guys like Fountain, Gertman, Xavier Lawson Kennedy, Victor DeGreat were all non-names before the season started, Gary. They're making plays today.
Paul Darrent kind of slows everything down and allows these defensive linemen, you're talking about, Bill, to slide down the line of scrimmage and get a good tackle on Roberson to slow him down.
One of those guys getting reps in the non-conference action. A talented group of freshmen. And depth becoming a factor in this big battle here today. 3rd and 4 to 26 for the Wildcats. Out of the gun, and Roberson, here they come. Ransom was blitzing, and it is picked off. Oklahoma State, Darrent Williams again. Oh my!
A huge play in Darrent Williams shows he knows how to break on the football. Going to be on the right side of your screen. L. Roberson's going to try to get it to his go-to guy, James Terry, on the outside. Watch the break that Darrent Williams has on the ball and pulls it away from Terry. Excellent job on the interception and breaking back for the ball. I think if L. Roberson had thrown his ball a little bit earlier, he might have had a chance to make the completion, but gives enough time here for Darrent Williams to step in for the grab.
So Darrent Williams, his second interception of the afternoon. The first one went for a touchdown. This one sets him up 1st and 10 at the 34 of Kansas State. Tatum Bell, 30, 25, and first down, Oklahoma State. Randy Jordan making the tackle.
Man, Randy Jordan better make this tackle or it's a touchdown for Oklahoma State. This little misdirection play they've ran 3 times has been successful every time against Kansas State. It gets the defense to float. It isolates the cornerback one-on-one with Tatum Bell out on the sideline. He's made a lot of yards in that play today. Excellent job there by the offensive Oklahoma State getting that football moving on the ground.
He's now over the 100-yard mark. 19 carries, 102 for Bell, coming in averaging just shy of 101. 1st and 10 of the 23. They fake it to Bell, and here comes Fields looking. Got Woods. First down as he steps out of bounds near the 11-yard line. Rashawn Woods with Williams covering.
Well, there's actually 4 receivers that Josh Fields has to survey on this play when he does the bootleg. He's got a guy short in the flat as the fullback. He's got a tight end at the 2nd level. And then the 3rd level, you have Rashawn Woods, number 82, working the sideline. Nice throw and catch.
And Rashawn Woods sets up a first down at the 12 officially. He's got 5 catches, 110 yards. Johnson resets, tight end on the right side. Fields gives to Bell. Bell at the 10, 5, put it on the board. Touchdown, Oklahoma State. Tatum Bell. Gets his 2nd score of the day, and Oklahoma State opens up a 2-touchdown lead now.
Score after the turnover, that's key in football games, gives you momentum. Your defense makes a play, the offense responds. Oklahoma State now, as you said, Bill, 2 touchdowns up on Kansas State. The extra point is good.
And with 17 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter, Oklahoma State finally has a little breathing room. Bell with his 12-yard run.
Watch the block by Willis, number 37. Opens the outside for him, does it nicely on Randy Jordan. Gets the block, and got a big fullback like that. You want a good blocker, and watch Willis again, number 37, clear it out there for Tatum Bell and unimpeded the end zone for the score.
Well, this fellow's going to see how well shaped or what condition they are. Jiffy Lube scoring drive, 3 plays, 34 yards. Bell, TD, and 23 of it rushing in that short drive that was set up by Williams on the interception, and 35 push-ups. Thank you very much.
I didn't think those were all good ones. Were they good ones?
John Radigan probably be down there to finish up for the next score. Bell, 20 carries, 114 yards, and 2 scores today for the Cowboys.
Well, this game has been everything we'd expected, Bill, as far as physical play. These 2 teams very close to each other, and production, and just the key plays in football games are what turn the momentum your way. You've seen interceptions 2 times now. Oklahoma State taking the benefit of 1 interception for a touchdown return, and then here in the 3rd quarter, this interception sets up a quick scoring drive.
And the kickoff again from Barton. Sproles takes a knee. Well, what a confidence boost that is, and just a reassurance to your defense, Gary, to know, all right, our kicker's going to put it in or out of the end zone. They're going to get it on the 20-yard line. There's not going to be a chance for special teams answer here and turn the momentum.
Well, that is a key weapon in college football. If you can kick the ball through the end zone or deep enough where your defense rolls out there, where they're not going out there at the 35, 40-yard line with a big return. You get Darren Sproles back there returning kicks for Kansas State. He's able to break one anytime. But now here they're having to start on the 20-yard line and go the distance of the field.
1st and 10 at the 20. The Wildcats down 14. And Roberson gives to Sproles. He is tripped up. A loss on the play of a couple, and that defense is roaring.
Greg Richmond does what he needs to do. The defensive end does a good job of penetration, getting in the backfield and pushing his blocker back. And watch him trip up Sproles. Number 45, Richmond, get into the backfield and take it on the block low and then kick the play over and knock Sproles to his seat.
That ends the third quarter. Cowboy fans are elated, but a full quarter to go. College football on Dr. Pepper, Fox Sports Net. It's Oklahoma State 35, Wildcats 21. Oklahoma State with a 35-21 lead as we get ready to start the fourth quarter on College Football Saturday. Brought to you by Dr. Pepper. From the Big 12, it is the Cowboys and the Wildcats, and Kansas State with a 2nd and 12 at their own 18-yard line. I'm Bill Land alongside Gary Reasons on the sideline, John Radigan, as we watch and see if K-State can answer. Play action. Roberson in trouble. Steps up, got time now. And looking for Terry. 3 defenders down there, though.
In the secondary, and have a good job of covering the receivers and also getting pressure back on him.
3rd and 12 at the 18. The screen to Sproles. Sproles spins across the 25. He is slippery. Stopped at the 27-yard line by Victor DeGreat and Vernon Grant in on the play. But it'll force a punting situation for the Wildcats.
And it brings the crowd into this game. They're loving this defensive stand here by Oklahoma State. 3rd and long situation again. They go with the screen play to Sproles, and a good job by Oklahoma State slowing it down and stopping the play.
Gabe Lindsey deep for Oklahoma State. Jared Bright is the punter for K-State. Came in averaging nearly 40 yards a kick. Gets this one off and then blocked last week. Lindsey escapes one tackle. 35. Oh, mama, what a block there. And he gets to the 47 before Ransom. Ransom was one that made the key block, and he's brought down on the play, but what a hit. I think it was Ransom that made that block, Gary.
Well, Gabe Lindsey, we've seen him do punt returns before and a touchdown earlier in the season. Watch number 44 come into the picture here and get him one. Good job on the block. Kind of a blind side, but nonetheless, it's an excellent block. It gives Gabe Lindsey a chance to walk the sideline.
So Lindsey with the return, and it's 1st and 10 at the 47. 44-yard kick, 19-yard return, and great field position.
Yeah, great field position now at your 47-yard line.
Now the Cowboys go on the ground, or they go back through the air.
Just stay balanced is what they've been doing all day today.
Morency sees a little gap. He gets across midfield to the 49 of Kansas State, where Jermaine Berry, a sophomore out of Wichita, makes the stop. Got a little bit of everybody in the Big 12 involved in that family. Houchin making the tackle, and Wildcat defense needs to stiffen here. Still plenty of time in the football game for K-State.
Yeah, this defense needs a turnover. They need to make a play in this football game.
Yeah, that is really the difference. Oklahoma State has scored on a turnover, and a turnover set up another score. Thus, they lead by 14. Hickman makes the stop on Morency this time, and it'll bring up a 3rd down situation for OSU.
1st and 2nd down, putting the ball on the ground, trying to grind it out, running the football. That's smart here offensively. Get the clock in your favor. Coming up on 13 minutes to go in this football game.
3rd and 4. Sean Woods to the right. DeJuan Woods and Lindsey to the left. Badgerman in motion resets. Fields. Lindsey, 1st down grab inside the 40. McGill made the stop. Gabe Lindsey, a nice catch. And Oklahoma State moves the chains, keeps possession.
Well, the naked bootleg, the same play that Gabe Lindsey scored his touchdown on this other end of the field, and good job by Josh Fields, throwing it up for him to grab it and make a key 1st down here to keep his drive moving. Josh Fields showing he's got a little touch on that football.
Going to Gabe Lindsey, who's
OSU football team. Take a look at the 2nd half here. Ball up in the air, and This Oklahoma State football team is doing the things they need to do to score. The fake field goal that continues to drive. And then Tatum Bell is going to get one in the end zone. Darrent Williams with the second interception of the game. Things are going well here for Oklahoma State. They've got a 35-21 lead. 14-point advantage with 12 minutes to go, and they're still driving, Bill.
Tatum Bell's moved up past Sean Jones to number 7 on the all-time rushing chart here at Oklahoma State. Over 2,700 yards. Cowboys keep it on the ground here on a 1st and 10 at the 37 is Morency. OSU would like to use that clock in the ground game as much as possible. Berry making the tackle, but they are not afraid to go for the strike.
Well, this is where Mike Gundy would like his offensive line to take over. His offensive line, get some positive yards, running the football, run those big backs up in there. You got Willis blocking and Tim Burrow coming into the football game to be a blocker as well. And Morency, a little more of a banger back there running the football. So they've got a good blend here, what they can do moving the ball.
2nd and 7 at the 34. Sean Woods to the right. The pitch to Morency. Morency cut back, kept moving. Looked like he was going to get a loss on the play. Pretty good job just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Shows he has pretty good footwork as well. Morency hasn't got a lot of outside plays today, but you see the defense for Kansas State converging on him, and then he turns back inside and makes a couple people miss to get something out of nothing there and brings up a 3rd and 5.
Sophomore out of Miami, Florida. And see that offensive line that has really been doing the job. Koenig in now at the 1 tackle in place of Hardison. Noble also in there, left guard. Here is Fields. Just fires it under pressure there on a 3rd and 5. And incomplete. As a result, 4th down. Line of scrimmage is the 33. That means a 50-yard field goal attempt.
And one of the things that's happened in this game is a front moving in, and the wind is kind of blowing from left to right as you watch this football game coming in from the north and west. And so be a long field goal attempt here if they try it, and into the wind. Going to be a 50-yard attempt.
Now, he hit a 52-yarder last year against Southern Miss. Twice he's hit 52, his career best. This year his best 32, but he's only attempted 4, made 3. This one is into the wind. Of course, they had the fake last time. 4th and 5 from the 33. Phillips for the 50-yarder. Got it all going. It is good. And the Cowboys put up 3 more, 38-21 here in the 4th quarter. Playoffs. Drama every night in seemingly every game. Well, Oklahoma State's trying to take the drama out of this one as the kickoff comes to Mack. 20, 25, and brought down as he forges ahead near the 27-yard line. And that's where Kansas State will take possession here. Big 12 today, A&M putting it on Baylor 38-10. Reggie McNeil. Big day in the passing game, Gary, after Baylor's big win over Colorado. Speaking of Colorado, they got KU or the Hawks for real.
Well, they 4-1. Let's see. They got to do some things against quality opponents in the Big 12. And Iowa State with a big game here against Texas Tech. See if B.J. Simmons can continue his mastery throwing that football.
Nebraska, their defense was so stout against Oklahoma State. We'll get a test against Missouri. And, of course, Oklahoma and Texas hook up in Dallas. Here, the pass is complete. Holland makes the tackle on the play after the pass completion to Oklahoma State's Thomas Hill, their tight end.
Now you're going to see if L. Roberson can run kind of a semi-hurry-up offense here, get up to the line of scrimmage, down 17 points in this football game. Going to have to get some quick scores. Just over 10 minutes to go left.
1st and 10 at the 40. This one underthrown, and Polite lost his footing a bit there. Stops the clock, 10:17 remaining. Cowboys and K-State. They were 21-14 OSU at the half. Kansas State came out. Impressive drive. Saba got a 3-yard run to tie it at 21, and then it's been all OSU. Lindsey, Bell, and Phillips the scorers. And the Cowboys have bolted now to a 38-21 lead.
Just resetting the football. It was spotted incorrectly.
Roberson is 12 of 22 for 195 yards passing today.
Well, the one thing he cannot do here, he cannot afford to throw another ill interception, because that would just put a stake in that Kansas State football team. Bringing the pressure on him now, forcing him to throw the ball, and a good sack.
Sack on the play by Freddie Sinclair on the blitz. Well, Bill Clay, the defensive coordinator here, he liked his game plan, Gary. Didn't know if they'd be able to execute it. They have.
Well, he had to wonder does he have enough weapons or enough powders in the guns to take it against his Kansas State offense with Sproles and Roberson. He said he's going to do a few different things, change it up, and his game plan has worked pretty well, I think, so far. And these Cowboy defenders have executed pretty well.
3rd and 17 from the 33. Roberson. And it is complete inside the 50. Polite shy of the first down.
About the 48-yard line. He's a couple yards short of it. That's a good throw by Al Roberson on the sideline. Makes the defense stretch all the way out there. And Polite does a nice job of pulling it in. Brings up a 4th down here. No doubt that Kansas State's going to have to go for it in this situation.
9:37 to go. They're down 3 scores. Gary mentioned pretty much have to go for it. 4th and 2 at the 48. Roberson on the option, gives to Sproles, and Sproles looking for room. He breaks the tackle and has the first down. So K-State will hang on to the football. Boy, great work by Darren Sproles. Darrent Williams made the tackle.
Yes, this is just the second time we've seen Roberson pitch the football down the line option here, and you've got pressure right on the face of Roberson. He pitches back to Sproles. Watch his quick footwork here, and just stays working. If he doesn't keep working those legs, he's not going to get the first down, because Williams might have had him behind the 50 for the stopping short, but does a good job of continuing for the first.
He is shifting. 1st and 10 at the 46. Roberson, and it is complete to Polite, and Polite is down inside the 30 at the 28-yard line.
Well, John Holland's in coverage. He's saying Polite doesn't catch his football, but they're going to give it to him. Pressure here. You got a little blitz package coming on Roberson. He throws the ball down, and you see John Holland over the top and Polite underneath, and makes the grab.
1st and 10 at the 28-yard line. Wildcats trying to come back. Screen as the flanker screen, and Terry makes the reception, and he has another first down, I think. We'll see where they spot the football, about the 19. May have to measure. We'll see.
We have wide receiver middle screen here. You bring Terry out inside from the outside. Your offensive lineman release. As long as you throw the ball behind the line of scrimmage, you're able to do this with your lineman releasing downfield, which they do. They get it to Terry, who's behind the line of scrimmage, and brings it up almost to the first down. They're measuring it. Yeah, this is a quick answer here by Kansas State. That's what they have to do. Move the ball quickly, get down there, put some points on the board. Doesn't really matter if it's a field goal or a touchdown, because they do have the 3 scores that they have to put up there.
And Joe Ream is 8 of 9 in field goals, his best a 44-yarder this year, and he's hit 5 straight. See for the measure.
Yeah, just going to be just short. It's like about a foot or so that they have to go.
Stop by Carl's Jr. and enter him today. Keep up with the Cowboys and Cowgirls. The new OKState.com, the official OSU athletic website.
Bill Snyder, his club in danger of losing its 3rd in a row. And K-State will meet Colorado next week, and then rivals Kansas and Baylor. All 3 are at home, though. They are so tough in Manhattan. They'll have a chance to regroup. But they're thinking conference championship. They need to pull one out here, in my opinion. You don't want to start 0-2 and have to win out the rest of the way in the Big 12. Roberson keeps them the 2nd and short. That's the thing in the history of the Big 12. No team has ever won a division with more than 2 losses. So thus the loser today, and in this league being as balanced or as better balanced than maybe it's ever been, Gary, that's almost an impossibility to ask a team to go to run the table the rest of the way. 1st and 10 at the 15. Roberson in the end zone. Terry out of bounds.
Good coverage by Darrent Williams, number 9, underneath Terry, and the ball is thrown Not about head height, and neither one of them can come up with the ball, and the ball's out of bounds. Pretty good matchup with these two all day, and you see the coverage underneath. It's trail technique, inside coverage, and see Terry having to go up over the top of Darrent Williams, who has pretty good coverage, and he looks back.
Darrent Williams with 2 interceptions today, 9 in his career. Second down and 10. Nothing doing here. Sproles is stuffed at the 16-yard line.
Greg Richmond comes up big again. Bill gets in the backfield, a tackle for loss. We'll run the draw play inside to him, but take a look on the right side of your screen. You're going to see number 45 just step in there, and no influence, doesn't go up the field like the offensive lineman wants him to, and he steps in and makes a nice play.
Richmond, he was a high school quarterback and a linebacker and ran the 400-meter relay. Gives you kind of an idea of an athlete, the smarts he's got, the whole business. What a package he brings, this senior out of Oklahoma City. 3rd and 11 from the 16 now. Roberson brings it back the other way, and Hill will stroll in. Touchdown, Wildcats. So K-State does answer. It's a don't shut the door yet. On for the point after. Good snap, and the kick is good. 7:47 to go. All kinds of time. Wildcat fans have a hope again.
Onside kick. Probably going to kick it deep, though. I think Kansas State's going to line up and try to play some defense.
Wright will boot it, and Williams will let this one go. That wind has picked up a little bit here. Let's go to Bill Jones and a Dr. Pepper game break now. Unbelievable. Thank you, Bill. Ouch for Arkansas. So Auburn, what do you think? They lose a couple, and they come back, beat Tennessee, beat Arkansas. What a wild college football season. Oklahoma State trying to deliver here and knock off 22nd ranked Kansas State. 10-point game, 7:47 to go, and Fields and crew hands off to Morency, and Morency picks up 10 on the first carry, or just shy of that. Cedric Williams makes the tackle. We'll give him 9.
That play has worked every single time that Oklahoma State has run that today. Quarterback leans out here, fakes it, everyone works away from it, and look at Morency. He runs it just like Tatum Bell does. Get the block outside from Rashawn Woods, and that's a 9-yard pickup.
Yeah, Bell, 20 carries, 114 yards, 2 scores. It's been Morency on the last couple of possessions, so he's getting an opportunity now. Coach Les Miles to have that kind of running back depth. He's had 9 carries, 30 yards. Have a fresh back in the 4th quarter. Morency showing it, breaks the tackle across the 37-yard line. Vernon Morency, and he gets it out now to where it'll be a 1st and 10.
We talked about power football, and I think Oklahoma State has really won that contest today, taking it to the Wildcat defense up front, running the football at will now here late in this football game. You got a big offensive line, and you want to get those guys moving. Want to make some holes for these running backs, and there's plenty of holes for them to run through.
Kansas State knowing they've got to stop Oklahoma State. Get that football back. Clock ticking with 6:42 to go, and OSU up by 10. And Morency trips a little bit there on his own. Looked like he stumbled in at the 40. And let's go down to John Radigan, the Woods family, or part of them.
Yeah, I want you to see some one-of-a-kind jerseys. Of course, Rashawn Woods, 82. The 82 was the easy part, but this is where it became one-of-a-kind. They add DeJuan Woods and Donovan Woods. It's the Woods boys. We've got Lawrence and Wano with us. Lawrence, how proud are you to have 3 kids playing on this?
Well, we're just excited about the possibility not only of them playing, but just getting to college. And the playing is an extra bonus and an extra blessing, because it's tough trying to raise a family of 6. And we're just so glad that they met the requirements and are going on and try to become an asset to society instead of a liability.
And Juana, some icing on top of that cake, some icing on top of that is the fact this is a good team.
Yes, and I was in Kansas City last year, and this feels a lot better.
You guys look great. We love the jerseys, and enjoy the rest of the game. That is Lawrence and Juana Woods, guys. They are the parents, the proud parents of the Woods boys.
Well, DeJuan catches this one for 11 yards, Gary.
Well, he gets into the action here. Good job. You know, it's kind of right on cue, John Radigan, doing a good job of pulling him in there.
Mike Gundy said, oh, they're talking to the Woods. I guess we better throw to one of them here.
Yeah, the young quarterback we haven't talked about at all today is a chance to play here perhaps next year I want to try to redshirt him.
Donovan, a sensational player in high school. And at this point, you would believe, unless a knock on wood for OSU fans, a big injury to Fields, they would be able to redshirt him, and then it would become a point if it did happen now, all right, do you want to bring him off a red shirt for the remaining games or push it back to next year? And you heard Mrs. Fields made the comment about much better than Kansas City. She meant obviously Kansas State, where last year the Wildcats put it on OSU 44-9, and it is at that point that OSU kind of looked in the mirror and said, all right, we're going to become a better football team and live up to our billing, turned their season around with wins over Nebraska and Texas A&M, and went on to win 5 of 6. This could be a turning point here to go to even greater heights. 2nd and 5 of the 44, and Bell back in the game and goes forward to the 41-yard line.
This is a part of the football game where Bill Snyder has to kind of watch the clock.
Back out of literally nowhere, Gary. The weather has completely changed. The wind that already picked up a little is now gusting in the face of Oklahoma State. Rain is starting to come. It was predicted, and it has arrived. That certainly isn't going to make things any easier for Kansas State, I wouldn't guess.
No, it's raining sideways. Actually, up here in the booth.
Yeah.
Coming in here right on us, but it's going to be a little something to deal with. But, you know, for Kansas State having to throw the ball, it's at their back, so it probably wouldn't be a real return. But 4th down here, a chance to stop Oklahoma State. This is a huge play for Kansas State.
It'll be 4th down and 1. The ball is at the 40. They're going to set up quickly and run it. Let's see. Yes. Yeah. Whistle's blown. Flag thrown. Averaging 43.5 a kick. Got it off, but into that stiff wind. 27, about the 27-yard line. So that is where K-State will take over. Just an 18-yard kick for Farden. Almost got a block, though. We'll take a brief break. Stay with us. K-State come back. Well, they got 3:58 to do it. K-State missed on a 1st and 10 on a pass attempt. 2nd and 10 from the 26. Roberson dumps it off before he gets dumped. Sproles 40, 45, and a 1st down for the Wildcats. Out to the 48-yard line, and Sinclair made the tackle.
22-yard gain on that play. Bill gets it out to midfield, and Kansas State needs to be in the hurry-up offense. Don't minimize any time here. Don't unnecessarily spend time getting up the line of scrimmage. Get a play call, get it run, and don't use your last time out.
1st and 10 at the 48. Roberson throws, and it is incomplete. Grant with the hit on Polite.
Roberson throws a strike on the outside. Quick zip outside, but just Polite unable to pull it down. Now they moved the ball the length of the field and put points on the board last time down the field, Bill, and good management there of the clock and the situation.
A lot of wind. Rain seems to have let up. 2nd and 10, and again they come back to Sproles on the screen, and he breaks another tackle and gets yet another 1st down to the 39 of Oklahoma State. This K-State bunch far from done as Sinclair made the tackle.
Well, the defense needs to rally here for Oklahoma State and make tackles. You can't go through there and try to knock him down with your shoulder pads. You need to wrap up on Darren Sproles.
Roberson wasting little time. 1st and 10 from the 39. Got a man across the middle inside the 20-yard line, and that is Casey again. Casey having a huge day. Sinclair makes the tackle, and Casey a career best. Oklahoma State slow to get up on the play. Sinclair and Duran.
And that's a pretty good collision with a big tight end, 270-pounder. Oklahoma State having to put some reserves into the football game.
Casey, 5 catches, 70 yards. He came in 7 for the season. Wildcats 1st and 10 on the 17. .3:15 to go. Sproles next to Roberson. L. Going in the end zone and knocked away. Intended for Dennis. Davin Dennis, a sophomore from St. James, Louisiana. 1st and 15 for Roberson. Going in the end zone for Terry. Overthrows. Covered well there, Jones and also Holland back. Jones out of Midwest City, Oklahoma. He's got an interception today. Darrent Williams has got a pair of interceptions, one of them for a touchdown.
Now remember, Kansas State needs 2 scores here, Bill. It's not critical that they get a touchdown. They could still settle for the field goal opportunity. If it comes up to a 4th down situation, put points on the board, try the onside kick. Either way, they're probably going to have
the game.
Exactly. Try to do the onside kick. They have to do that with either opportunity scoring.
So 2nd down and 15, and Roberson dumps it across the middle again. It's Terry. He breaks the tackle. He will score. Oh, my goodness. What a play by Terry. And the Wildcats get 6 more. James Terry is big time.
He sure is. The wide receiver screen coming to the middle of the field. Watch number 5 step back and come in here. They're going to get blocking in the middle. And he's going to break tackles. When he catches the ball, break tackles. Watch number 2, Foth Carter, just kind of flagging there. You got to wrap up and bring him down. Good job of running after the catch by James Terry.
22 yards on the pass play to Terry, and he gets his 4th touchdown of the year, his 2nd of the day. And the point after by Ream, and a fake and a tackle. And that will deny Kansas State a huge extra point. Is that a bad snap?
I think it was a bad snap, mishandled the holder and couldn't get it down and tried to stand up to do something with it. Boy, I tell you, that's a huge, huge mistake. Take a look at the snapper. It puts it on the ground. It just falls out from under his finger and not going to be able to get that extra point. So it's a 4-point margin here, Bill.
So field goal doesn't do you any good. College football Saturday presented by Dr. Pepper. On that kick, I mean, the options now, if Kansas State can stop Oklahoma State, now you know you've got to have 6, Gary.
Yeah, you've got to score a touchdown. That's the key thing there. You could have put a field goal on the board and tie this football game and perhaps get it into overtime. But now having to stop OSU offensively or do an onside kick, you have choices here what you're going to do kicking the football first and foremost. If you have to stop OSU, I mean, you've got to find a way to get that ball back in your offense's hands. And hey, L. Roberson has proven that he can run the 2-minute drill. He's moved the ball. They've done it with the screen play. They've done it with plays to Terry. So they've shown that they can move the ball down the field.
4 touchdown passes for L. Roberson today. Saba has the only ground TD for K-State, and it's 38-34. Kansas State has 2 timeouts remaining. Oklahoma State has all 3. Of course, they're looking to run it here right now. Let's see on the onside kick. Lindsey, I believe. Yeah, Gabe Lindsey. You got all your good hands people in there, and Lindsey makes the grab, and Oklahoma State with 2:51 to go will gather for its offensive possession.
Now the percentages are not in your favor onside kicking, but nonetheless you attempt it. And every now and then you'll pull one down, but here your defense is going to have to step out there and come up with a stop and get the ball back.
Well, our next tell, you make the call. We go back to Oklahoma State and the fake field goal. This one was a fake, and the big run by Phillips that set up a touchdown.
Yeah, they've got the first down and key to keeping that drive alive and the score, as you said, Bill.
And Oklahoma State trying to hang on now. Up 4, 1st and 10. Bell dives across to the 47-yard line.
Yeah, notice how Tatum Bell carrying that football. He's got 2 arms fully around that football. No chance that he's going to fumble in this situation.
Houchin made the tackle for the Wildcats. Heard the call. K-State taking its 2nd time out of the half. Line offense and B.J. Simmons and crew in here. Wow, what a game that could be. 2nd and 7. They've still got 2:45 before the Cowboys can lock this one up, though. Bajema resets after going to the right side as the tight end. Fields showing pass. And comes back to Rashawn Woods for the completion. Does not get the first down. He goes to the 41-yard line. Interesting play call.
Well, he came up short of the first down. If you're going to throw the football, at least press it, try to get the first down. But still a completion. Got a little bit closer to the first down. It's going to be a 3rd and almost 2 yards. And K-State taking their last time out of the half. And then the tough loss last week to Texas. And now looking at a possible 3rd loss on the season third in a row.
3rd and 2. Johnson in motion. Bell is the tailback. Fields gives it to Tatum Bell. And he has the first down, and that ought to lock it up. Kansas State out of timeouts. Clock will stop as they reset the chains, and then it'll get going again.
Well, the fans understanding now what's going on in this football game as they set the chains. They'll set the clock in motion again, clicking under 2:30 left in this football game. And all teams have this series that they like to go out there, and a lot of coaches call this their victory formation. You know, when they have a chance to win this game and either drop to a knee, they'll probably have to run one more play here.
Tatum Bell sets up behind Fields on a 1st and 10 at the 38. And gets the call and forges ahead down to the 35. And Bell with 26 carries, 132 yards, Gary. There's a lot of heroes here, but you really got to tip your cap to that young man because of the fumble situation last week. Gets just 2 carries. Earlier in the year, he fumbled against Nebraska. They returned it for a TD. He responded with 215 yards. And the next game is Wyoming. Well, he responded today.
There's articles in the paper wondering how he's going to respond in this football game after really being benched last week. He had the 1 fumble early in the game, as you talked about, Bill, and not getting a chance to play, but I tell you, he certainly answered the bell today.
No pun intended, I'm sure. 2nd down and 7. Clock moving. 1:30 to go. Bell again. Just hanging on to the football, and they have another first down. A little short, got inside the 30-yard line, just shy of the 29, where Ted Sims, a sophomore from Newton, Kansas, made the tackle. Sims had 15 tackles last week against Texas. There's Phillips, another one of the heroes, and the big 11-yard run on the fake field goal for OSU. And Les Miles and the Cowboys, they won't celebrate long, not with Texas Tech coming to town, and then road dates at A&M and Oklahoma. Wow. And then if they want a little more excitement, they get to host Texas. Bell again. And Bell, oh my. He might be able to score on that one. Broke through that wall, and that certainly seals it. First down, Oklahoma State. All the offense we talk about, our Quaker State player of the game, Darrent Williams, the guy that might have turned it around the most with his 63-yard TD return, or TD on an interception return, Garrett.
That was a huge play in this football game, Bill, returning an interception for a touchdown. That changed the whole complexion of this game early on, and then obviously the second interception he had to squash a scoring opportunity for Kansas State and setting up another score for his offense. A couple of huge plays in this football game for Darrent Williams.
Yeah, the second one gave Oklahoma State the setup to go up 14. That's it. Cowboys will count them down here as Oklahoma State has bumped off 22nd ranked Kansas State.